So, hello and welcome to the St. Paul's Area Community Engagement and Housing Design Meeting. My name is Jennifer Moore, and I'll be your moderator for this community discussion. We are here today to present to you the proposed designs for the two new apartment communities, Blocks 17 and 18, to be located in the St. Paul's area of Norfolk between St. Paul's Boulevard and what will be the realigned Church Street, near the Hampton Roads Transit Center. We are looking for your feedback about the building design, and we welcome any input you would like to provide to the design team today. This is our first virtual community meeting, so before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items to address. First, all participants will be in listen-only mode during this presentation. Following the presentation, there will be a question and answer section. Those of you who are logged in via WebEx will be able to send messages in the chat feature. To activate your chat feature, select the text bubble symbol. All of the chat features will be displayed on the right-hand side of your screen. Type in your question or comment, and I will be announcing your design question in the order in which received, and the members of the development team will respond. If you are joining today by telephone only, we will attempt to unmute your line during the Q&A session, but please be aware that the number of phone participants and the audio quality may prevent or limit this feature. In the event that this occurs, stay tuned until the end of this meeting for other opportunities to provide feedback and ask questions. So I know that we are waiting on Councilwoman Angela Williams-Graves to arrive. So since she is not here yet, I'm going to rearrange our agenda just a little bit and go ahead and ask Mr. John Majors to begin his presentation. So at this time, these proposed designs are being shown to the community. Please welcome Mr. John Majors, Vice President of Brintor Development, along with members of his development team from Bank of America and the architectural design team of the Moody.
I lost audio. Jen, are you still there?
You are live.
Okay, got it. All right. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who has jumped on. As you can see, we're all sort of still learning here. We're learning new technology. We're learning new ways to engage. So thank you all for your patience. As Jen mentioned, my name is John Majors. I'm a member of the Brintor Development team. Ms. Graves, I see you. You want to jump in? I just got started, so I can stop. You're muted.
I love your artwork in the back. I mean, whoever that is, they are going to be famous, okay?
That's my retirement plan.
So, look, I just want to take 2 minutes to just welcome everyone and just express to all of you how grateful I am for your attendance here today and for the time that's been put into this project. I know that, you know, it may seem like we are a little bit redundant and we come back to you often and not much has changed, but a lot is changing. And we just want to make sure that we are keeping the community involved every step of the way so that and giving everyone the opportunity to participate in multiple platforms, in multiple forums, so that folks know what's going on and they know what is happening in the St. Paul's area transformation. And so this really is a community-driven project, and it is a community-based project. And so between the community, the city, NRHA, and our development partners, we are able to make this heavy lift and transform and change for the better the lives of the residents within the St. Paul's Quadrant, and specifically at this point in time in the Tidewater Gardens community. So I have seen what you all are about to see, and I think this is being recorded so that I can go back, and it is the middle of my workday, but so that I can go back and review any comments that are made. But I hope that you will be as excited as I am about the look and the feel of what is to come and the quality of the project that we are committed to bringing to the residents of Norfolk. I have often said that people, no matter who they are, I believe they want a safe and working place to live. And then we can add in all the niceties, but it needs to be safe. And everything in it needs to work. I don't think that's too much to ask. And that's whether you make no dollars or whether you make $1 million. Having it safe and feeling safe when you come home from work, and then having everything in your apartment or in your home work as it should work. I don't think those are things that are too much to ask. And then to add to that is the pride of coming home to somewhere that you love, or coming home to somewhere that makes you feel good. Or when you write the rent check or the mortgage check, you feel good about writing that check out because you like where you live and you like the amenities, and there's conveniences there for you and for your family and for the next generation of children. So we just want to make sure that we are delivering on our promises to keep you engaged and to keep you involved and to keep you connected in this process. I also want to take the opportunity to remind everyone to please continue your social distancing. Please continue wearing your mask. We're doing well with our case counts, but COVID-19 is still here. And also to remind everyone to please take advantage of the opportunities with People First, powered by USI, especially parents who have children in the school district. The school district is committed to making sure that there are devices and internet access for every single child. And so our People First, powered by USI, is in connection with or partnership with the schools to help our residents. So if you need help, if you need something, please reach out to us. We are a lot of things, but we're not mind readers. And so if you need help, we don't know that you need help unless you tell us. So that's my 2 cents. I'm going to go back to work now. I know you all are in good hands. And like I said, I hope you are as excited about the project as I am. And I hope that you are as pleased with what we're proposing and where this is going as I am in the St. Paul's redevelopment. So thank you.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Graves. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you. So again, I just we'll jump right into it and show you some really cool designs and pictures. I did want to very quickly say thank you to NRHA. Thank you to the city at all levels for the leadership and guidance and helping us along the way. Our partners, Bank of America Community Development Corporation and Franklin Johnson Group, our design team that you'll get to hear from in this video very shortly, Moody Nolan, but especially thank you to the citizens of Norfolk and to the residents of the Tidewater Gardens community. I really like doing the community meetings, and I miss that. I wish that we could. I'm looking forward to the day when we get to do those in person again. I will tell you that I've had a chance to meet some of the families, some of the kids, some of the parents of Tidewater Gardens. Had some one-on-one meetings as well, and I will tell you that when we go back and have our design meetings and we're talking about how the community gets laid out and all those different things, I remember those conversations. Different people around the table will say, remember that meeting where that one mom stood up and said X, Y, and Z, and those things that you all say in those community meetings, they get factored into the design. So don't think we don't hear and just know, please, that we do appreciate it. So thank you all. With that, I will jump right into the video, and again, that's what we're going to try to do. So let's make sure that it works, and give us a little grace if we have to work on it a little bit. Okay, should be right here. second. I'm going to go on mute so you don't hear me in the back. Okay, so looks like we had maybe one person who was not able to hear that audio. That audio will be, I'm sorry, that video will be, is hosted on the site where you can click to go and take the survey. So we'll get to that a little bit later. I'll run through some of those designs again, just so we get a chance to spend a little more time on some of them. So let's switch here, and I will go to, okay. And everyone can see my screen. Jen Moore, give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Awesome, thank you. All righty, so we'll go through the Block 17 and Block 18 projects again. This is, you know, you all are familiar. This is the area that we're talking about, Tidewater Gardens. Oh, sorry, let me go into, okay, so this is the C&I master plan for Tidewater Gardens. If you all can see my cursor, these are the existing Tidewater Gardens apartments here. This is the transit station, blocks 19 and 20. For those of you who've been around and been involved, you all will recognize that we came to you last year and presented both blocks 19 and block 20. I lost my cursor. 17 and 18. So this is the transit center. This is just north of the transit center. This is just south of the transit center, and that's what we're going to talk about today. This is St. Paul's. This will be the extended Freemason Street. This is the current Fen Church. This is the this will be the new Church Street. So just for orientation there. This is the layout. So again, St. Paul's Boulevard, of course, that exists today. This extension of Freemason does not exist today, but it will. This is Church Street extension, does not exist today. Fenchurch is currently goes right about here. And then this is the Transit Center Drive up top. This is what we're calling Block 18. So that's bordering St. Paul's, bordered by St. Paul's, Freemason, and what will be a new, really pedestrian-focused street. You'll be able to drive through here, but it's really, it'll really have a strong pedestrian focus here on Festival. That's Block 18, and then this is Block 17, and we'll go through those as we go along. Just in terms of the unit mix of housing, there's a note here. I always get nervous when we show unit counts and unit mixes and things like that. These are, very close to final as you get to the design phases, but there may be some tweaks here and there, as we finalize the design process. But you can read that there. 5, 26, and 12 in terms of 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms as replacements. I won't read all this to you, but that's the unit mix. Okay, so this is the rendering of Block 17, and so in this rendering, this would be as if you were maybe standing on a building across the street from what will be that new Freemason Street here and the new extension of Church Street. This is that courtyard, landscaped courtyard that we talked about. This is a one-story retail or commercial use right here on the corner that jets out like that. And then that gave us an opportunity to do something really, really interesting. And I think it's going to be something incredibly attractive, especially the new blue-green way is going to sort of terminate right here. So this is going to be a real focal point on this corner, and it'll be an amenity space that's available to residents of the building in Block 17. This is if you're walking along Freemason Street. So, this is Church Street over to your right. If you're looking at this picture, this is the, tail end of Block 18, and St. Paul's would be to your left if you're looking at this picture straight on. This is that street we mentioned, Festival Street, that's got a real pedestrian character to it, and this is Block 17. This is if you're standing at the transit center, looking back southeast at Block 17. Block 18 would be over here, and then this is that Block 20 that we presented to you last year that has already been awarded tax credits and will be breaking ground, first, second quarter of 21. This is a close-up as if you're actually in that courtyard, and you can almost get a feel for how welcoming and how attractive this space will be. This is Block 18, so this is a little different perspective. This is is if you were standing at St. Paul's looking down Freemason there. This is a technology of the skin, for lack of a better way to say it, on the building on this side is something called color shift technology. So it will actually, I think Ronald talked about this in the video, as you're walking down the street, this will pick up the different angles of the sun, and it will give you a little dynamic of movement and color shift. It's going to be really, really interesting. You'll see that here, we've heard at different points that sometimes the buildings will look all the same, and we really wanted to try to get away from that. So we've done some traditional things in other blocks, especially in Block 17. We really tried to make this one a little funky, for a lack of a better design term. So you'll see the building almost sort of peels away from the balconies here. There's that spire that pays homage to the churches in the area, and then just a very walkable feel along Freemason. We think this is going to be very, very enjoyable for the people who not only live here, but the people who visit this area as well. Again, this is that, again, this should, I'm hoping that as you're looking at this, this should feel like, wow, I'd like to spend time there. This is Freemason with Block 18 to your left. Another angle at Block 18 is street here is that Festival Street. You're looking through Festival right into the transit center there. Again, this is we hope that as you look at this and as residents live here and people enjoy the amenities and offerings here, this is going to feel like a very, very enjoyable place to just hang out and spend some time. We'll go into the layouts of the units. And I will say that these are, just like to remind everybody, these are quote-unquote precedent images. That's a term that architects use to say this is, not exactly, of course, what the units will look like, but these are representative samples of what a unit would look like. This is one of the things that is a big deal. As you're thinking about units, you'll be able to fit a queen bed in the bedrooms here. Just some of the ways that the kitchen might lay out, living room, etc. But this is the actual layout for the one bedroom units. The two bedroom, again, a few precedent images. These are representative, not necessarily exactly how the units will look, but representative, quote unquote, precedent images. The three bedroom, it's a little bit bigger. It's over 1,200, almost 1,300 square feet. Again, really, really attractive appointments in each one of the areas. And if there are questions, we can certainly go back through these at a little more detail. One of the things we did want to point out here, each unit will have a washer dryer in the unit. Amenities, really, really working to make sure that this community feels like a very welcoming place, a place where people are going to enjoy living, enjoy hosting friends and family, and just trying to make sure you have everything you need if you live here to really have an enjoyable life within your community. So we'll look at things like fitness rooms, rooftop decks. We saw that. We saw the landscape plaza. These are just some, again, precedent images, representative samples of what some of the community rooms, bike storage, et cetera, things like that. What do I want to point out here? Really, one of the things that you're not seeing here pictured is the proximity to the major transit center. I mean, I think that's a really, really big deal, especially as more and more people think about being able to use transit. Maybe you have a car, maybe you don't, maybe you only use your car on weekends. And then here's an opportunity again. I think our entire team wishes that we could all be there in person and we could have a conversation and people could pull me to the side and say, hey, I really like this or I really didn't like that. You guys ought to rethink this. So unfortunately, we can't do that. So we do have multiple options for you to share your feedback with us. So number one, just want to let everyone know we are going to do the same presentation again at 6 p.m. tonight. So if there's somebody who maybe wanted to be on but couldn't get on at noon, let them know. They've got another shot to see this presentation. And it is being recorded and will be available, I think, as well. So maybe Jen, you could talk about that. But then we'd love to get your input. We have surveys where you can actually, if you'd like to do it online, you can go to this website, and you might want to take a screen print if you don't want to write that down. But you can go to that website and take the survey online. That video is also at that survey site. Or if you'd like, you can actually do a pen and paper survey at any of these three locations, the Hunt and Y, St. Mary's Basilica, or the People First office. So with that, again, thank you all. I know this is a little bit different, and we're all kind of figuring out how to do community and resident engagement. So we just really, really appreciate your patience and your participation. Jen, that's it.
Great, thanks. Wonderful, thanks. Exciting presentation. So now we're going to move on to the question and answer session. So now it's time for us to hear from you. So again, if you are joining us via WebEx, please submit your questions using the WebEx chat feature found on the right-hand side of your screen today. If you are on the phone, please stand by and we will unmute your line if this feature permits. And I think this feature will work today because we don't seem to have too many callers on the line. We will work to get you to get the answers to your questions as we can, but it would be helpful if you are asking a question today, please state your name and where you're from before you ask your question or state your comment. So let's start with the chat feature first. Again, for folks with questions, please type in your question on the right-hand panel under the Q&A. And I am looking for questions right now. And I am not seeing any questions. So while we wait for questions to come in on the chat feature, let's go ahead and take any callers on the line. So Melissa, please unmute the callers. And if you have a question or a comment, please state your name and where you're from, and we'll take your question. Callers?
Hi, Jen. I've unmuted the call-in users that we have, and it looks like we only have one.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like we don't have any questions from the phone line today. Let me double check our chat feature again. I am looking and I don't see any questions coming through for the Q&A feature today. Okay, so we will go ahead and move on to the next portion that talks about how you can access this question and answer feature after the event. So the design team will take your comments and any ideas to review. So we want to make sure that these apartments feel like home for our residents who choose to live here. We want these apartments to be functional, engaging, and inviting. So your feedback is critical. If you didn't have a chance to ask your question today or want to give more feedback later, there are several ways to do so. So John mentioned these as well, but first you could go on to Let's Talk Norfolk, our website at www.opentownhall.com. That's www.opentownhall.com. And look for the St. Paul's Redevelopment Community Engagement Survey. Click the link. You'll be able to watch the video again. If you weren't able to see it today or if you had any audio issues today, you'll be able to watch it again. But you'll also be able to complete the survey and add any additional comments. Second, you can visit one of the three survey sites in person. So, of course, wearing your mask and staying socially distant. At these sites, you will find a survey table set up for your convenience with images and paper surveys. Add your name and contact information to the survey if you would like someone to follow up with you directly. As John stated, these three locations are as follows. The St. Mary's Church, located at 232 Chapel Street. That's going to be Wednesdays and Thursdays from 9 until noon. Second location is the People First office, located at 447 Walk Street in the Tidewater Gardens community. Open weekdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The third and final in-person location is the Hunton YMCA, located at 1139 East Charlotte Street, again in the Tidewater Gardens community. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You could also leave your question on the St. Paul's area hotline. That's 757-314-2000. Again, 757-314-2000. You can call the hotline, leave your name and number along with your specific question, and someone from the team will follow up. If you don't have a question, you can still just leave a comment. Finally, you can message us on our website at www.stpaulsdistrict.org. From there, you can click on the Contact Us feature and submit your question. All of these options for feedback on the design images will be available through September 16th. If you need additional information, you can also visit our St. Paul's Area Facebook page, or just, again, visit our website at www.stpaulsdistrict.org. So that concludes our session today.
Jen?
Oh, yes?
A question via chat from Allison Flowers. I just sent you a message.
Thank you, thank you. I was reading my script and didn't see it. So let me pull that question up. It's in the chat feature. Let's see here. And my chat feature is yes. Okay. From Allison Flowers, how affordable are these units going to be? So, John, would you like to address that question?
Sure. Thank you, Allison, for your question. I will go back if you all, can you still see the PowerPoint?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I'll go back to the unit mix. I'm going to close on this stuff. So the apartments will have three layers of income levels, if you will. So replacement units, those are public housing units. And so if you're a public housing resident, whatever your formula is for how much you pay, that will be the exact same here. The tax credit units, those are units that are, the rent is restricted based on income by Virginia. It used to be Virginia Housing Development Agency, but I think it just now becomes Virginia Housing. And then the unrestricted units will be market rate. So, we'll do a market study, and whatever the market tells us is the sort of going rate for an apartment of this size and vintage. So it's probably not it's not. I'm not able to give you a direct answer to that. But for the replacement units, which are the housing authority units, residents, my understanding is, will pay no more than 30% of their income for their rent.
Great, thanks, John.
And John, that is true if you also, on the tax credit units, if you're using a housing choice voucher on the tax credit units as well.
Yeah.
And so no more than 30% of your income on rent or utilities as a resident pays today.
That's right. Very good point, Susan. That's a good nuance of if you're using a voucher at a tax credit unit, it will be the same with less than 30% of your income. Got it.
Thanks, Susan. Thanks, John. We have one more question that's come through on the chat from Luciana Burse. The question is, are these apartments for single family only?
I'm sorry. Okay, one more time.
Sure. The question is from Luciana Burse, and the question is, are these apartments for single families only?
For single families, meaning, I'm not sure I understand when we say single families. Maybe she can clarify it. So are we talking about single families as in, I'm not really, I'm sorry, I'm not understanding what the.
Sure. There is no explanation as to the definition of single family. So Luciana Burse, if you have an opportunity just to type in some clarity there, that would be helpful for us to get you the answer that you're asking.
And I've just also unmuted Luciana. She wants to clarify.
I wanted to know, like, is it but they already answered about the voucher. Yeah.
Okay, so does it sound like your question was answered, or did you need some clarity? Okay.
I wonder if the question was about, are they only for single people with maybe no children? That's certainly not the case. And we certainly welcome children in the community. So I don't know if I'm answering that the right way, but
okay. Well, thank you, John, for that. And Ms. Luciana Burse, if you have any additional questions, definitely reach back out to us through the avenues that we've provided, and we'll be happy to clarify any additional questions you have on that. I hope we were able to provide some helpful insight on that question, though.
I did. I'm just waiting for them to see it.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Burse. Oh, there it is. Are these apartments for people with children or without? So there's the clarity. John can, and I think you addressed that. It sounds like families are absolutely welcome here. Single individuals with no children, married individuals with no children, or folks with children, grandparents with their grandchildren. It sounds like that families, no matter what that looks like, are definitely welcome in this community. Is that right, John?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So I am scrolling through the questions yet again, and I am not seeing any additional questions coming through. So with that, I think this is the conclusion of our meeting today. We will go ahead and I know our agenda has some closing remarks, but we've, like I said earlier, we've shifted that agenda around a little bit. So in closing, I just wanted to touch base with John Majors. Anything else you wanted to add before we close the meeting today?
No, I just want to, add my thanks again. I know this is it's a little bit of a different way to do a community meeting and a resident meeting. So we just really, really appreciate everyone's patience and your openness and frankly your grace extending to us as we figure this new reality out as well.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for your time today. Again, we've got a 6 p.m. meeting this evening. It's going to be the same presentation that we have viewed today. But please, if you can, please encourage your neighbors, your friends in the St. Paul area, or anyone associated or wants to know about this project. Please encourage them to attend at 6 p.m. because the purpose of these sessions is to get your feedback, and we want to be sure that you see what we are putting out, that you are hearing, that we are listening to you, and we are responding to what you're telling us. So please, again, spread the word for the 6 p.m. session. And with that, we're signing off. Thank you so much, and everyone have a great day.